Hello, everybody, and welcome to the last ever Weekly Bazaar of 2020. That was the USUK intro, not the Weekly Bazaar intro, because Alex isn't here today and I can press any button I wanted, and I like this. So I'm going to bring on, first of all, our regular co-host, and then a special guest, because sometimes Alex just goes on a little bit more, so we swap him out every now and again. You watching, Brian? You watching, lovely boy? Right, first of all, here's Shane.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Merry Christmas and all that shit.
Is it Christmas? I hadn't noticed.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it's looking a little bit Christmassy in the background there, and you've got those weird things on your head. So I'm going to say it must be nearly Christmas.
Yeah, I had to put the antlers on. I couldn't find the elf hat in time. True. Bringing our third guest. This is going to be like one of those Marvel origin stories because we're actually bringing in one of the creators of the Weekly Bazaar. So if you love the show, it's his credit. If you hate the show, it's his fault. Bring it. Our third team member tonight, Garrett. Woo!
Hey, how's it going, guys? And gal?
Hey, Garrett. Nice to meet you, man. First time we spoke, I think.
Yes, I believe so. I think it's the first time I spoke to either of you.
Oh, crazy. You've been drafted in because Alex is moving house, right?
Yeah, I'm actually here to announce that I'm going to be Alex's replacement on the Weekly Bazaar. No, I'm joking. Sorry. No.
I was getting excited.
Hey, I can't talk. I can't do any abortion jokes. We can't talk about sex robots. I don't want nothing to do with this channel anymore.
I'm just thinking to myself, how will it sound? Science with Garrett. That works. Yeah, I can go with that.
It can.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we can't talk about sex robots. It's just if sex robots in the news, we can't talk about them. So, technically, it's not our fault we can't talk about sex robots.
Hey, I just looked it up like 5 minutes while we were waiting for all the photos to upload. There's like 1,000 new sex robot articles that could have been chosen. So somebody's just not doing their homework.
You didn't bring anything to the table. Well, I mean, if only you put them forward.
We have coming up now. We've got a little briefing.
What's that?
Yeah, we have covered. I was going to say we've covered a lot of sex robots.
Oh, I know. I mean, I imagine it's been onward and forward. When I last did this podcast, I think at most we were maybe had 2 or 3 people listening to us, and we did not do it live streaming. So,
of course, yeah, because back in the day, it just wasn't. The live stream thing is relatively new, isn't it? It's yeah. It's a very different experience.
It's very different. Back in the day, USUK was still just kind of like something me and Tom and Alex were mulling over in our heads and thinking about maybe we would do. And then all of a sudden, I think it was this year that USUK became an actual thing.
It's relatively new, mate. Yeah.
So yeah, I have not been able to contribute any of my hopes
sex
and
robots.
dreams. Yeah, it's sex robots too. I've been able to contribute to the channel in some time. So,
well, it's good to have you on tonight, mate. It's good to have you on.
I appreciate it.
Can we ask, where are you heralding from, Garrett?
Where am I at? I am in Tucson, Arizona.
Wow. It's a bit of a trek.
Oh yeah.
That'll put some miles on your Skoda.
It's kind of a random series of events that me and Alex even cross paths.
I always do wonder how Alex gets into touch with all these guys from the States, because obviously there's Tom and there's Kenny and there's yourself. I'm assuming that it's all through podcasting and things like that.
Well, I met Alex well before Tom even came around. Tom was an added feature to Thorskin. Right. When I first met Alex, he was just about to launch Thorskin with Jimmy. And me and him kind of collaborated in getting ourselves set up, because I was starting a podcast with a friend of mine at the time. We were doing a podcast called Garrett and Justin Triggered, and I posted on a Kevin Smith Facebook page saying, hey, we're doing this, because there was a couple of other people that were also, starting podcasts with the Kevin Smith craze.
He's got a lot to answer for, that Smith guy.
Yes, he does. And Alex was like, hey, I'm starting Thorskin and I don't know what I'm doing. And I kind of acted a little bit more confident about what I was doing, even though I probably knew just as much as Alex at the time. And we just kind of helped each other build our channels. And obviously I'm not doing Garrett and Justin Triggered any longer. And Alex has got there's 20 people that watch this show now. So Alex has grown quite a bit.
I mean, he's gone crazy with the podcasting now. I mean, the local one he does here in Shrewsbury, because we live in the same town, me and Alex. And I mean, he's got a really good amount of followers. I mean, it's in the hundreds on the Shrewsbury Biscuit, which is done really well. It's even won local award. I think it won a mayoral award.
He had he got the mayor's award.
Yeah, the Mayor's Award. Yeah, so he's getting there, man. He's doing well. He's doing some good stuff in the community as well. So, shout out Alex. We miss you, brother.
Watch out, Joe Rogan. Alex Whitley's coming.
Yeah. Anyway,
not a friend.
Lucy, I think we need to get on with these stories, don't we?
Yeah, let's go.
Because it's turning into.
I always assumed that. I know. I always assumed that Alex found all these guys by writing to them in prison and then keeping in touch when they came out.
No, I'd already been out of prison for a few years.
Because those pen pal systems, they really do help you get through the days each day. It's great. We've got one of our regular watchers coming already with a greetings and salutations, everybody. This is from Jacques Mioff. He's one of our viewers from France.
Yeah, obviously French, yeah. Obviously a real name. Yeah. He's a dead ringer for you, Jack. Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Whiteley's been listening in. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. Really, really great guy.
Yeah.
Alex is just saying, gutted I can't be there tonight. Packing up to move house. Humble brag. Clang.
No excuse, Alex.
Yeah,
man, soft.
Lightweight. Absolute lightweight. Anyway, on with the stories, Lucy.
That's coming from Sick Note. Right, okay, so the first story that we've got coming up tonight, and it's not about me, it's about another bird of the year. Hey!
Very good.
And I'm wondering whether birds can be the pun of the night. I don't know. Let's see how we get on with it. So, bird pun. So everyone get in touch. So the first story we've got is just a simple, just an online voting system for a bird of the year. So here's the heading, as she says, clicking around. Gosh, I haven't driven the desk in ages. Right, okay, so here's the headline. Voter fraud ruffles New Zealand bird of the year competition. Because Alex isn't here, I'll try and do as many accents as possible.
The New Zealand accent? Yeah.
So a New Zealand accent is you just keep your mouth as tiny as possible. So the spotted kiwi snuck its way up New Zealand's bird of the year leaderboard before election organisers discovered 1,500 disqualifying votes placed for the smallest kiwi species. I mean, everyone loves to have a hobby. Who knew that it was going to be? I mean, the Russians got involved in the American elections. But no, this is not the story of the week. So suspicions.
Yeah, they were trying to steal the election from the Kia.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Kia is the best bird in New Zealand. Ornery little parrots.
I thought it was comedian Rose Matafeo. Hey. Suspicion. I love John Taskmaster. Suspicion began when organised received more than 1,500 votes sent from the same email address early Monday, and each vote was in favour of the little spotted kiwi, or that. Now this is the word I'm going to get stuck on now. The little spotted kiwi, also known as kiwi, pukapuku. Anyone else want to take a running leap with that? Right.
Pukapuku. Pukapuku.
So, oh my God, right? Forest and Bird spokeswoman Laura Keown, right? This is the official release. That is an amazing bird. It deserves all the support, but unfortunately, these votes had to be disallowed and taken out of the competition. I mean, what you're doing there is you're punishing the little kiwi. You're not punishing the voting fraud. That to take them out of the running completely. I mean, knee-jerk reaction, overkill. Anybody?
Well, I've heard that the Kiwi is contesting the decision and going to the Supreme Court. And I'm sure that they'll overturn the decision anytime soon.
Yeah, he's got a couple of sub-Kiwi species backing him up and petitioning lawsuits in his name.
Yeah, yeah. There's some angry.
I mean, I heard that the rear is going to defend him. He's definitely going to stick his neck out. Anybody? Come on. That was great.
I've got noise canceling headphones on and I can still hear the crickets.
Yeah, do better, Lucy. Do better. Come on.
So harsh. I'll say you. I've got all my Christmas props here because I did a charity fundraiser last night in online South Bend, Indiana, for the Family Justice Center, and we raised over $690 by being silly and telling Christmas jokes. So yeah, I am Christmas to the hilt right now. I've got three different pairs of antlers.
How much is that in pounds, Lucy? It's about £3.50, yeah?
At the moment, it's about 659.
Is that American dollars or Canadian dollars?
I know, Canadian. God, man,
and if it's New Zealand dollars, then it's about 9p, isn't it?
It better be New Zealand dollars. So as of Friday, the Antipodean albatross, a critically endangered seabird, has swooped to the top of the leaderboard. I say it was clearly the albatross that did this voting. He knew he was going to get caught, and that's what he wanted to do. He wanted a novel, The Little Spotted Kiwi. This is basic here. They've not looked into the tactics of bird voting.
Oh, dear.
Moving on to the next story. Now, this one we've had interesting debates about this before, because last week we did the mechanically produced meat. So this is going to be quite similar. So Shane, take it away.
Well, I haven't actually personally got a horse in this race because I don't eat red meat, but the European Parliament came together Friday to vote on a variety of issues, including whether a veggie burger is a burger or not. Farmer lobbyists argued no. Environmentalists said yes. The Parliament said yes too, in a decisive vote against a measure that would ban plant-based meat alternatives from being referred to by the names of their meat counterparts. This means terms like steak, sausage and burger. The quote is, "Reason prevailed and climate sinners lost." That was a comment from a member of European Parliament. It's worth celebrating with a veggie burger. It's common sense, according to Camille Perrin, the senior food policy officer of the European Consumer Organisation. Consumers are in no way confused by a soy steak or chickpea-based sausage, so long as it is clearly labelled as vegetarian or vegan, she said in a statement. Terms like burger and steak for plant-based foods help consumers understand how to integrate them into their meals. Like they really need that? Do they really need to have the word burger so that they understand that it might be a burger? Doesn't the fact that it is physically looks like a burger enough? How much do things have to be explained to people?
In Wales, there was a company that had to change their label because they were a Welsh company, and they made dragons, and a guy took them to court because the sausages didn't contain
dragons. That's ridiculous. I mean, Garrett, you're a man from the States. The state, your national dish is the burger, I believe. What's your take on this story?
Personally, I think it's bullshit. I don't think vegans have the right to be able to claim meat eating terms. If they want to have their soy patty, then just call it what it is. It's a soy patty. I mean, we call our burgers because that's what they are. They are ground up, murdered beef. Sometimes it's got this thing called pink slime, which is just a beef additive.
Ugh.
But it still comes from a cow that mooed, and that was quite cute. But overall, people in the United States understand that beef tastes really, really, really good. And the way we look at it is, if we want something to taste good, the life of the cow be damned. That cow's going to die and become a burger or steak. And I don't think they have any right to claim these titles. I think it's cultural appropriation.
Well, look it. I think the thing is as well, it's unfair. It's not fair on the cows either, because those cows have laid down their lives to make burgers. Do you know what I mean?
Point well meaned.
And you got to respect the life of the cow. And if you're calling it a burger,
I mean, you don't have to, but
died, it's not right. Yeah. I don't think. And I don't eat red meat. It's not.
It's not so much about respecting a cow; it's respecting the meat eater. I mean, we take a lot of flack these days to enjoy the foods that we enjoy.
You're becoming a minority. That's the thing, isn't it? Because I think there are a lot of very how shall I say, morally superior. They think there's a moral superiority in being vegan or being vegetarian, because they think that what they're doing is better than a meat eater. I think.
Yeah, and we all know what happened the last time we had a morally superior regime. Almost 6 million Jews died.
There you go. So I think that I don't think anyone should have the right to say, because I'm a meat eater, I'm a vegetarian, I'm right. Because I'm a meat eater, I'm right. At the end of the day, everyone has a choice, and I think the name of the food should reflect that choice. That's my take on it, anyway. What's your take, Lucy? I know it's going to be.
Well, that regime that did all those bad things were the ones that created hamburgers in the first place. So I think the cultural appropriation comes from there. I'm just saying.
You guys call it minced meat, not hamburger.
Well, actually, this mince meat
hasn't
got any meat in it, has it? That's the point.
Actually, no, mince meat. It's
got no meat in it.
Purely fruit.
So mince pies, you lying bastards, mince pies. Fuck off.
I mean, I love the fact you brought that in, Shane, because traditionally mince pies were made with meat.
They were.
And then over the years, the mince meat were changed into fruit. That's why it's called mince meat. But Shane is really Christmassy, and he does try to Christmas. Shane, middle name is Christmas. He tries to shoehorn it into every story. I mean, look at that face.
I fucking hate Christmas. You know that, Lucy. You know I'm not a fan of Christmas. Don't lie about me. Well, I don't mind Christmas.
Going on the
Christmas starts Christmas Eve and ends Boxing Day, as far as I'm concerned. All that other stuff is just bullshit. Like all that now behind you, that's all bullshit. Anyway, go on, carry on.
Fairy lights and sequin.
Yeah.
But we've had a couple of comments. We've had a couple of comments that come up on the pages that don't through the StreamYard. So Andy O'Brien has said, "Gee, Alex, have you had your haircut different?" uh, because Alex is famously a hat fisher, and underneath his hat was all of this hair, and he's now going by Garrett.
Yeah, Alex
And also April says, "Hey, April." For me, this one is the reason why the nameage issue is. I mean, there is so many people invested into these memes is because, like, if you go back, like halal meat and kosher meat, and then you've got the mechanical stuff. That's that, and then burgers. What happens is in a shop, if you go to the burger section, you'd want all those lovely burgers, and then you go down to the vegetarian section and you see that. If they are labeled burgers, they'd be able to be placed in a better part of the supermarket. So this is a money-making court case. This is all about navigating sheep through supermarkets with the fresh bread smelling up their nose and all the good stuff at eye level. So I mean, this could be a victory, but there's been lots of arguments. Vegetarians don't see why vegetarian sausages should be called vegetarian sausages because they don't want sausages. But it's like, well, stop rolling your food into long, thin spears.
Yeah. Why do they have to look? Why do they need to look like meat? I don't get it. If you don't want meat, if you don't like meat, why do you make your products look so much like meat? I don't get it.
Because you can get vegetarian meatballs. So if you take the meat out, it's just vegetables, which don't sound. That does not sound.
Oh dear. No. Let's move on.
I have a whole rant about meat substitute products that I don't think any of us really want to be getting into, but lead it to be that in actuality, and I think this is really important because I'm sure a lot of people think that when they do choose the non-beef alternative, the non-meat alternative, they're choosing a healthier alternative, when in fact they're just choosing something that's full of processed oils, full of soy that can really hinder your hormone production in your body when eaten in large amounts. You're ultimately actually choosing the less healthy option when you're going for one of these fake processed meat substitutes. And it's troubling.
That's something that doesn't get brought up a lot actually with vegetarian food. The fact that a lot of it is really unhealthy.
Yeah, unless you're eating whole greens and actual vegetables.
Yeah,
you're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, processed food is bad for you, whether it's meat or vegetarian. Processed food is just bad.
Yeah.
So
but it's sort of along the arguments as well, where people go vegetarian in the UK that like eating, the pineapples and all the different stuff, that mangoes, and it's like the stuff that was made in a foreign country that was on a big cargo ship or an aeroplane using lots of fuels, lots of diesel to get here, as opposed to buying locally. And it's all wrapped in a nice bit of cellophane and a polystyrene tray. Yeah, go you.
Yeah, strangle those dolphins. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Dolphin killers.
Yeah. Fucking...
Right. This is we've got a nice fluffy subject, like dolphin kill. This is Garrett's story, and I can't wait to hear your take on it. So, Garrett, go for the Mexican souls.
So apparently, the cartels aren't the first person to show off dead bodies to hinder foreigners from coming in and conflicting with their personal agendas. It was found that the Aztec Empire, which faltered around the year 1580, they had these towers of human skulls that were recently discovered. Now, they were found, let's see here. So these skull racks were created by a temple to the Aztec god of sun, war, and human sacrifice. Whoa. Which, due to this growing human population control problem, we probably should reinstitute. This god was known as Huey.
I love that.
Huey. I'm just going to call him Huey.
This is Huey.
Baby Huey was requesting these sacrifices, and it's insane because one of the things that modern archaeology was always kind of assumed about the Aztec Empire was that Aztecs would sacrifice typically grown men, adults, would offer themselves up. But when they unearthed this, they found that there was a quite concerning number of women and child skulls added to this, which has kind of added a whole new paradigm to what we thought was going on with these sacrifices back in the Aztecian days.
Hang on, guys.
And it really
I'll
makes us.
I'll put some sleigh bells behind this, and it just makes it a bit more Christmassy. So back there, kids.
Well, we hear in the United States, we've really come to resent our known holiday that is Columbus Day, because it's come to find out that Columbus was quite the mass murderer.
Yeah.
But and Cortez was not much better, and Cortez was, credited with the eradication of the Aztec people. At least the start of the eradication of these people and the fall of the Aztec Empire. But when you come to realize that these people were killing kids, all in the name of some...
Yeah, they got what was coming to them by the sounds of it.
Fake baby Huey. Yeah, it looks like... Yeah. And I'm wondering if the whole reason why that region is still in turmoil is out of some sort of like biblical intervention to punish them for what their ancestors have been doing for generations. And it only makes sense that things like the cartels would pop up and control power, because they're a chaotic region down there. It's quite scary. It's I don't know if any of you guys vacationed properly in Mexico.
Never been to Mexico. No.
They did say that Huey was really bad, but he was as bad as his brothers Dewey and Louie. I mean, they were the real bastards.
I could see that joke building up in your face as that was going on.
What did they sacrifice? Puppies. They sacrificed puppies and baby cats.
Hey, the real line that would be drawn to me is if you're sacrificing cats, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, man.
You deserve to be killed by syphilis and gonorrhea and all those other weird Spanish diseases.
Definitely. I think we're all cat lovers on this channel, I think. Except for, is Alex keen on cats? I don't think he is he? I don't think.
Alex loves.
I don't know whether he ever felt brave. I don't think Alex has ever been brave enough to go team dog in front of such a cat audience. I think it'd be the like, what happened? Alex was like, I just said I like dogs more, and Shane and Lucy just left the room.
I don't mind dogs. I like dogs. I love dogs.
Oh yeah, if he ever disavowed cats, I would be a first class ticket straight to England. I don't care if your guys' customs won't let me in the country. I will make my way over there and I will beat the living shit out of Alex if he ever fucking disavows cats.
I love the idea of Alex listening to this whilst packing his house up, talking to Mrs. Whiteley, going, "But for fuck's sake, I've never even said I don't like cats. I don't know what I do."
What the fuck are they doing? They're saying all this stuff about me, and I can't.
Gareth's gonna kick my ass.
There's going to be a comment in there in a minute, isn't there? I like cats. Leave me alone.
Don't worry, Gareth. When you kick his ass, I'll put the sleigh bells in the background. It'll make it a Christmas ass kicking.
He'll get properly slayed.
Whoa! Yes, I like that.
Nice. He's getting into the pun vibe.
Drink more beer. The puns flow then.
Yeah, we are a pun-filled show, and we usually have a lot of regular guests that join in. Some of them work, some of them don't, but we still read them out. Regarding the but right regarding the year story, our French viewer, Jacques Meoff, he said, as dyslexic terrorist had stormed the zoo, he has taken 6 ostriches.
Oh, God. That's supposed to sound like hostages, I presume. It's a bit of a stretch, that one, isn't it? It's, you know, never mind. Good effort, Jack. Good effort. Yeah.
Must try harder.
Yeah.
Right, this one, we've covered the story a little bit, but Jesus Christ, it's well, like an ostrich, it's got a fucking pair of legs on it. So this is the beginning of it. Right? So it's all to do with the monolith. So those of you that have been following the monolith monologues, it really is. We started the year off with Australia on fire. We moved into Storm Dennis, and then we had a lovely bit of murder hornets. But 2020 is going to end definitely on the theme of fucking monoliths. So the original, and I haven't seen this film, and I have no shame saying it because I'm 39. It probably predates my interest in these kind of films. But so Stanley Kubrick's 1968 film, 2001: A Space Odyssey, right? There's some monkey staring at mom, and then we ended up with this was ground zero of the monolith. This was the Utah one. One day it was there. Yeah, he's getting into character. He's just rehearsing. He hasn't got his outfit on yet. So this was Utah, and the thing with the Utah one was they were going, we're not sure what it was, but there has been a shitload of sci-fi movies filmed just in that space. What could it be? Then it moved swiftly. Yeah, then it moved swiftly onto one popping up in Romania. But this one sort of had doodles on it. That's the one. It's not as shiny as the one that's in Utah.
What was the doodles?
Next thing you know, so in Atasarado in California, all right, this was monolith number 3. Okay, and then boom, never to be left out, we've got the old Belgique, right? So obviously got some sort of structure. You've got an instant looking hipster twat taking a fucking selfie with it, probably put it on his fucking Instagram account. Told you it was near a cliff. Right, and then
surprised he wasn't eating ramen.
Oh god, oh god. Trust me, she's got them in those fucking pockets. They're big enough. Right, and then this is only about an hour away from me. It got taken down really quickly because the point with Dartmoor is a really protected environment for different habitats of like ecologies of insects and animals. So somebody thought, oh no, stick a fucking monolith there. Yeah. So it was taken down because the last thing you want is fucking tourists trampling and dropping litter all over me Dartmoor. So that was that. But now this is it. Now there's been a second one that's popped up, and it is the fucking shittest looking monolith. It's not shiny. It's not even up straight. It's got a slight leaning tower of fucking Pisa to it. Look what happened in Ramsgate on a beach. This was the latest one. All right, stick it there.
That looks like a metal casket.
Or a trough on its side, like a cow's trough.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Just before
I think the aliens are just fucking with us now.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to spook them out with this. Place it out in the middle of Utah where we already know there's lots of weird shit that happens out there outside of the Mormons. And then it just seems to be more ridiculous and ridiculous as the time goes. And I think I do think it is aliens. I just think they're really starting to just lay it in on us now.
They're just taking the piss.
Yeah.
Literally seconds before we went live, I found another picture.
Or something.
Yeah, but I found a better picture of that Ramsgate one just before we went live. I couldn't get a screen grab of in time, but it is literally sort of like somebody just went in the back of the garage, found some metal, and just sort of went, "Quick, Steve, stick it in the ground. Oh, put it on, leg it."
And it looked like the ground disturbance where they penetrate the earth. It gets messier and messier with each iteration. Like the one in Utah was like pristine. It looked legitimately like it just materialized there.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And then now it just looks like they're just jamming it in. Like
just digging a hole, slam it in. Yeah. It's probably just
They're not even covering the tire tracks from the flatbed. They've just pushed it off.
Yeah. There's less and less effort going into these monoliths now. It's time to knock it on the head, I reckon. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could become that they're the next garden feature of 2021. If you do, in the next installment next year rockery, take a picture, send it into USUK. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. Get involved. Send us your monolith now. I'm Arnold, if you're watching, I really want some nice, amazing pictures with just some dodgy looking monoliths superimposed onto them, please. The crapper, the better. Come on, Graham. This is kind of Christmassy because the story is that they can't spend Christmas at their own home. But this one's for Shane, but it's just the fact it happened twice. So this is Shane's next story.
Ooh, mother and daughter homeless for. Yes, I accept. Sorry, I'm just accepting cookies. Mother and daughter homeless.
If I do sleigh bells, I'll do the sleigh bells. So the Christmas homeless.
Wait a minute, you haven't read the article yet?
This is the first time I've fucking seen it, to be honest. So, a mother and daughter are homeless for Christmas after a car crashed into their house for the second time in months. Friends of Pauline Fitzgerald, 82, and Werner Harper, 54, are rallying round to help and raise money. Where's it gone? It's disappeared off my screen. Help raise money alongside the community where they live in Oldham. A red Volkswagen Golf collided with the front of their terrace property in Hollins Road, Oldham, in September last year. Images published by... Oh, yeah, we don't care about that. Let's have a look. Pauline and Werner were asleep at the time of the 5 a.m. smash and thankfully escaped unhurt. Fucking hell, that must have been a bit of a shock. You just, at 5 a.m., You're really in deep sleep, aren't you? You're not expecting the fucking wall of your house to get crashed into by a fucking Skoda or whatever it was.
No.
But the damage caused meant they couldn't return to their home for more... Oh, their home of more than 20 years. I thought it was like for 20 years. It's like, fucking hell.
I read that. I thought I read that as well. I was like, you can't go on for 20 years. Okay, how big was the car?
Yeah, what fucking crashed into it? The Millennium Falcon. So
maybe it had some sort of like nuclear power plant radiation in the trunk or something like that. Some
those fucking aliens again. Those aliens again.
Does England still use nuclear power, or have you guys?
Yeah, we still got
caved into the pressure.
No, well, we use it. We like the French and the Chinese to build power stations here all the time.
Good on you.
We've got all different types of power here. So now, incredibly, exactly the same thing has happened again. Those poor bastards. On September
when I first saw this article, because I looked at this one before I realized I had to do the next one. I saw that the woman and daughter, they were the ones that kept crashing into their home. And this was the second time that they crashed into their home because you didn't know how to drive into a fucking driveway.
We won't say anything about women drivers. We're going to get into trouble if we do that, because Lucy is a truck driver.
Hey, I wasn't going to go in that direction. You're the one that...
That's all right, Ed. I'm just giving you forewarning. Yeah, so this time it was a BMW. BMW drivers, fucking wankers.
Let me guess, it had M badges without being in an M car. We all know about guys that drive BMWs with M badges when it's not an M car.
Yeah.
A useful thing on a BMW turns out isn't the indicator.
It took them 6 hours. They were 6 hours at the scene. Fire crews. It's unclear whether anyone inside the car was hurt. I'd say they probably were.
At least they tried.
She was inside the house alone with her 2 Shih Tzu dogs watching television at the time. She escaped unhurt again. I think it's an insurance scam. What do you reckon?
They didn't like that wallpaper, so they thought, we can't get more
Yeah.
wallpaper.
We need Pauline.
Admiral,
We
get
need a
up.
new porch. We need a new porch, Pauline. Get your mate to crash his BMW into the house again.
Oh, although if Alex was here, he'd be like, so they thought that they wanted some new fucking sofas, so they put a car right through the living room.
They fancied a new 49-inch telly. Oh, dear. Her daughter Verna, who had a heart attack last December. Her daughter had a heart attack last December. Oh, dear. After the first crash. Oh, she was in hospital at the time with COVID, so she's all right. How lucky she had COVID. So she missed the second
they say
crash.
things come in three.
Oh
we've all had a bad 2020, but I think these guys definitely win the award.
Oh,
really? Twice in 12 months, they've fucking had a car park in their living room. I've heard of off-site parking, on-street parking, but never living room parking.
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes you don't have enough time to walk from the driveway into your house.
Yeah, just drive straight in. Yeah. Definitely. It says insurers are now dealing with the damage for a second. I bet the guy who got that case is just like, oh, fucking hell. Imagine that, just before Christmas, your insurance case, they've been it twice. I'm not going to be able to pay them out. Oh, I wouldn't pay them. No way. Because you want to take more care.
Doesn't strike twice.
No.
Well, I mean, how much more care can they take? They were inside. They were, coronavirus, the advice is stay indoors, stay inside, stay safe, right? She's inside, and the outside trouble is really coming to her. Really.
Oh.
Can you imagine though? It was like a Wile E. Coyote film where the coyote's like putting grease and oil outside the car, like waiting outside. Me.
And there's a GoFundMe appeal to raise money to help them as well. So don't give anything to that because they're fucking liars.
I understand if they're going to build a bump barrier, like a central reservation bump barrier.
Oh dear.
Oh man. But I just thought that would make everyone else feel better about how their end of year is going. At least you are not homeless for the second time because of fucking BMW drivers.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Moving on to the next story that I gave to Garrett. Now, this is a cute little Christmas one that I think we can. Garrett, if there are any quotes in there, I really hope that you can put a proper accent on. Ideally, that has no connection to the story. Yeah. Alex really does like to mix up his accents. Just do your best, no pressure. Yeah.
I can do an American accent. In actuality, to most of the listeners, especially if they're Britons, I do talk with an accent. So,
there you go.
The first thing when I saw this was good on the mom. So if anybody has listened to very old pre-USUK productions with me and Alex, you'll all know that I have a tremendous disdain for participation trophies. And being a fucking Christmas tree in a child's school play is a goddamn participation trophy. And this mom has every right to not reinforce that behavior in her daughter. If her daughter wants to be a goddamn Christmas tree, she needs to live up with the consequences that her mommy is not going to fucking endorse that shit. And I look at all the psychologists saying, "Oh, you're causing if your daughter wants to identify as a tree, you should let her identify as a tree, and if she doesn't want to be, the spotlight, then you should encourage that behavior." No, this is going to turn her daughter into one of these snowflakes that's going to propagate the propaganda that a soy patty should be a goddamn hamburger. And I don't agree with that. I think that's dumb. I think it's stupid, and I think it's watering down our society and making us weaker to the Chinese influence. So, yeah. What was the story about?
Apparently, she said trees don't do anything, but her daughter said she just felt like playing one. Maybe her daughter's just lazy ass. You know,
Yeah.
couldn't be bothered,
Right.
couldn't be bothered learning any lines. I'll just stand and be a tree.
I've given you two boys enough rope. But when I was 5,
You played
I
a
was a
tree.
Christmas tree at school play.
Did you do well? Did you have any lines? Was it a talking tree?
Please tell me you played an ant.
Yeah, an ant. Yes, I like it.
And in proper child tradition, I didn't tell my mum until the night before the show.
Oh, because you thought she wouldn't turn up. I'm not going to watch my daughter be a tree.
No, it was that she had to have the costume ready by the next day.
Oh,
At least in this situation, the mom wasn't responsible for the child's poor excuse of a costume.
yeah.
Oh my
So-
god.
All of a sudden, my mum was just like, so she just got my dad's biggest green jumper. She got to the Christmas tree and just sewed the fucking bauble straight onto that bastard.
Hey, if anything, that's props to your mom for being able to stick up to the challenge.
Yeah, man.
I think of all the traditions I've got as a child, it is the fact that I have been in many like theatre, that school plays and stuff like that. But I've never passed that letter on to my mother until like 2 days before the show.
I love it on the Christmas.
She's not going in my bag to get stuff, and she goes, "What's this letter?" And it's like, "Oh, I need to be an angel by tomorrow." What?
Fuck, that's never going to happen. I love it on the Christmas plays when they have animals on there that could not have possibly been in Bethlehem at that time.
Oh yeah, Christmas llama.
Yeah, the Chris, or some sort of animal that is only found in Britain. And there's no way it could have possibly existed. It was like, oh yeah, but we want the kids to be familiar with what
everyone knew about the famous Bethlehem giraffe.
Yeah.
Or don't forget,
well, I want to be a giraffe, but there weren't any giraffes. Yeah, but I want to be a giraffe. Okay, you can be a giraffe. Fuck it,
And of course, you've always got the three wise Pikachus.
Yeah, with the Game Boy, the PS5, and forget the gold, frankincense, and myrrh.
It was the NES, the SNES, and the Sega Mega Drive.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's a classic. They're classics.
So the reason why I also put this in, not only because I wanted to see what rope you gave yourself to ridicule a poor girl that played a Christmas tree, and I was a delightful fucking Christmas tree.
I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were, Lucy.
Hey, look, it hasn't affected me, is it?
Not at all, no.
Think about it.
No.
I think when I was really little once, I played the star, the Christmas star.
What's that Christmas tree called? Is that your Facebook profile picture?
No, I was younger. But yeah,
so basically, for Lucy.
All right.
No, that's me. It's the green one out of Guardians of the Galaxy. What's the name?
Oh, is that how you're supposed to be? Oh, right. I thought you were
Oh,
some
Yeah,
I- okay.
Gamora.
You're a
Is it supposed to
Gamora.
be
my
Gamora?
friend
Yeah.
my friend discovered the face replace app or the face swap app, and I get
Ah.
randomly sent shitloads of videos of basically films but with my fucking face on it. And I'll be honest, some of them are very weird. I was like,
Oh,
oh,
The favorite one I've seen is Alex as Wonder Woman.
oh
Fantastic.
no, you got to see me as a Joe Exotic. Oh,
yeah,
it was perfect. I'm gonna post this into the group chat. I nobody else will see it, but maybe we can post this on at a later point.
I'm gonna have to have a
But
look at
and it's a gift, so there you guys go.
So while we're doing that, the other reason I bring the story in is I wanted to know, what were you in your school plays? What memories do you have? I mean, I played a fantastic prostitute in Oliver.
Okay.
I don't know if I want to touch that.
That's what Oliver said.
I mean, you might charge me.
Because every school does Oliver. Everyone forgets that Bill Sykes' love, Nancy, was a prostitute.
Yes,
and all of her friends were prostitutes. And everyone just glazes over that when they do another junior school production of Oliver.
Yeah, it just sort of get glazed over a bit in the Disney. Was it Disney who did a movie of Oliver? They don't really make a big
it
deal.
was with a cat as cats, or Oliver played a cat. Yeah, that I distinctly remember that because that movie traumatized me.
Yeah, and it's a bit fucking weird actually. When you watch it through adult eyes, it's like, whoa.
It was I don't know. The only memory that I have of that is I saw that movie in theaters, and I had to be taken out of the movie theater because I started crying profusely from that movie. And that is the only memory that I have of Oliver. I will never watch that movie again. And it's made me who I am today. Oh God.
All right. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, that's me as Joe Exotic.
Oh dear. I love that show.
Lucy, your feed has frozen and you're like
she always sticks on that. You're moving again now. Well, you are from here anyway. It hasn't frozen, hasn't it? She's just sitting there going. It's not really frozen.
Let it go. So, what were you in school plays? Come on, guys. What did you play?
Are you asking us, or are you asking the people on the
I'm
chat?
asking you. What did you play in school plays?
I told you. I was a star. I was the star.
But there's got to be what they.
I carried around.
You're the star of the week.
Yeah, that was what I was. I think I might have been
actually. In high school, I did my last 2 years in high school. I did I did a lot of drama. I was mostly into the technical theater aspect of stuff. I really loved lighting design, but I played in 2 different productions at 2 different high schools. The story why I went from one high school to another, long story. I don't think we have enough time. Maybe I'll talk about it later, but I did the same play but 2 different characters, so I don't know if it really counts. I don't know if have any of you heard of the play You Can't Take It With You?
No. What's that about?
It's kind of like a family comedy sitcom almost. I think the play was written in the early 1900s.
Oh, wow.
Maybe like the 30s, 40s. It takes place. Well, no, it was probably You Can't Take It With You. We were talking about the Cossacks, so I think it was during the Red Scare. So it was sometime during the Cold War that the play was written and takes place. And it's a comedy about a family that has a daughter that wants to get married, and it's like a socially unacceptable pairing. of the time, and I played the dad to the daughter in the first run through, and then I played the grandfather, who was kind of like the aged, like the sage of the play. He was the one that's letting out, gives all the wise exposition, makes everybody learn their lessons, understand each other, and had some really strange humor about wanting to do things to younger women. Yeah, this was a high school play. But it was in this pre-trigger cancel society that we live in now, so it was all good. But yeah, it was fun. But I had lines. I had like 20 pages of dialogue that I had to memorize. I had to do work. I didn't just stand there looking pretty in a fucking tree outfit. I earned that shit.
Yeah, you had lines and shit, and you had to learn those lines, and that's proper acting. Yeah,
I had to educate the audience. I had to give the audience the theme. Like the audience came back better because of my portrayal.
Eat your heart out, Tom Cruise. Bad example, I know. Bad example.
I was gonna say, if there was one guy that I'd be gay for, it'd be Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah, you We've done that question before, haven't we, Lucy? Who would you be gay for?
I think so.
Was that another podcast? Was that another podcast I've been on? Oh.
So many podcasts, so little time.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up, what I would like to ask, because we've done all the questions,
before we move on, I have one thing, just because this is not a goddamn bizarre weekly if it didn't have this. So, sex robots must be used on older humans who suffer from impaired sexual functioning. This is the title of the article that I got from the Daily Star, dated December 16th, 2020. So,
wow. This is new.
So, Professor Nancy S. Jecker, Jecker, has published a paper in the Journal of Medical Ethics, encouraging builders of sex robots for young straight men to do more for older people.
Oh, isn't that nice?
So it had to be. We can move on. I had to get that out.
You had to get that sex robot story in there. I'm really happy.
Well, I think it is fitting that is the last story of 2020. We've had, because I mean, I don't know how many of you watched this, but Garrett,
we ended with sex robots.
Yes, they're really. I mean, this has been a quiet sex robot week. We're planning it until obviously that breaking sex robot news from today. But I have to say, there has been an incredible amount of sex robots, and I have to. And if I had to choose my favorite one, it would be the. It's kind of connected, but I think it was Korea's football stadiums that used the blow up dolls as the audience, and they filmed the entire stadium with blow up dolls that looked very shocked about that penalty.
Everyone was really shocked at the game's progress.
Everybody was shocked through the entire game.
It's brilliant.
Oh, that's funny. This would be my reaction.
Hey!
Hey, but no music be played during the show, please. Please make sure.
I didn't know if there's music on there.
Well, we'll get away. We'll get away with that little bit, I think. It's not like we've got to worry about being monetized anyway, is it? It's not like we're making loads of money. We're going to take your 3 pence off you.
I think it was less than 30 seconds. You're good.
Yeah, we're good. Anyway, this is news.
Hang on.
This doesn't count. News doesn't count. It's fair use on a news show.
Well, I did one show where we played a trailer for a comedy film, and there was a little bit of Harry Belafonte's Banana Boat song in the background, which is out of copyright as it's so old. And we still had our stream taken down off YouTube and Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Cheers. But, yeah, turns out they're not big Calypso fans.
Oh, I am sure if we haven't been taken down from Facebook and YouTube yet, I mean, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah. We've got some comments, Lucy.
We've got a couple of comments, obviously, from Jacques. So on the bird puns. So we've got looking for a woman who has great tits and swallows, and from Colin, the ornithologist. I'm looking for. I saw a bird of prey having a shit in the woods. It looked at me and told me to fuck off. I think it had irritable owl syndrome. And asked off Jacques, who's been one of our best watchers. And I'll do this in my Radio 4 voice. So hang on. My ex-girlfriend owned a parakeet. That fucking thing never shut up. The bird was pretty cool, though.
Oh, the ex-girlfriend jokes. You can't beat them, can you?
No, you can't.
So I know that Alex isn't here, but I just want to say to everybody in the USUK family, and all the guests that we've had on as well, we've had an absolutely incredible time. I know that when I started my shows way back at the beginning of 2020, I thought, something to do. We're all locked in. Nothing's going on. I had no idea that I'd be on like episode 33 of the other shows I do. I mean, it's amazing how long this year has been, but all of a sudden Christmas is suddenly here, like it snuck up on us, and that last bit. So congratulations to everybody for staying well.
Hey, we survived
during
2020.
Yeah, man.
Not all. I mean, there's a lot of people in this world that cannot say that they survived 2020.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think COVID nearly took Jamie, one of our superhero bar fight boys, who's now Chronicles. I think he came down with the COVID, but managed to just punch it back in the face, told it to fuck off because he had ice cream to make.
Fuck off, Rona.
Yeah. But just want to say thank you very much to everybody, and ultimately thank you to everybody that's tuned in and listened to all the podcasts and got involved on the USUK fan pages and the tweets and the TikToks. That we really have built an amazing community of people from all of the different podcasts we do. So I know that the Chronicle Boys and what the different guys are going to be doing their own little speeches, but honestly, thank you everybody for being involved and supporting us through this horrible year, and we hope that we made you laugh. But the biggest thank you is not to Florida Man on his own. It's to everybody that did something weird this year that found their way into our news feeds, because unlike a lot of comedy shows where you spend ages planning and writing this stuff, other people do the story work for us. They really do.
You're right on that, right?
I mean,
so thanks to all those fucking idiots out there.
You know, a big thanks to the guy in the Philippines that likes to steal flip-flops for masturbatory reasons. A big thank you to the woman in America that married the Statue of Liberty. A big shout out to Ray the Ghost. To all the drive-through strip clubs.
and
obviously a big thank you
to all the sex robots out there.
I was going to say, that was the last one. A big thank you to all the sex robots. One day you'll get the vote.
Jacques, no, Jacques, I am not going to dress up as Father Christmas. I do apologise.
Although he did ask me to sit on his knee once. So
I was very drunk.
I don't know if you know how... What we do, Garrett, at the end is we say, I've been. So if I say, and this has been, so you then say your name. So this has been
Garrett.
And this has been
Shay.
You arsehole. You know how to do that. We've done this how many fucking weeks.
And hey, and one last thank you as well. Thank you for Garrett for coming on and filling in and joining us tonight. Thanks a lot, mate.
Oh, no problem. I just feel really gypped that I didn't get to do this with Alex because he kind of said that I would be doing this with him, and he backed out at the last minute. So fuck you, Alex.
Yeah,
I had a much better time with Lucy and Shane than I ever did with you. And a shout out to Tom. Tom, you and I need to do a thing that you would normally do with Alex without Alex. And yeah, I hope he gets the Rona. I love you, Alex. You know I'd fuck you in the mouth.
He'd like it as well. Right, everybody, say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa,
and all that
bonsai, whatever you celebrate this time of year.
All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
End broadcast.